If you're a homeowner here in the Inland Empire and you want to move, but you have a house to sell and you're not sure what to do first, listen, this is exactly where people end up losing their leverage. I've personally found that many homeowners or many would-be sellers, they may want to move, but they don't end up doing it because they don't know what that first step is. And it ends up leaving them feeling stuck. But the truth is, you're not stuck. You just don't know what the right plan or the right structure is for that. So let's do this in this video. Let's go ahead and look at what exactly that structure should look like. Why homeowners end up feeling stuck. Yeah, like I already said, I do find that many homeowners do end up feeling stuck and they end up believing that they only have two options available to them. Number one, sell first and be homeless. Or number two, buy first and be reckless. But that's not true at all. No, there are real paths, real structural paths for that. And here are the most common ones here in Southern California. First is the contingent offer. This is where you write an offer to purchase a home contingent on your house successfully selling. Basically, you're saying, I'll buy your home as long as my house sells too. The pros to this option are financial protection. You're not gambling on two mortgages. Your down payment is secured by closing the sale on your house. Reduces risk. You're not making rushed decisions because of overlapping payments or timeline panic. Equity clarity. You know exactly what you're walking away with from your current sale. It's not an estimate, it's not hope, it's real numbers. This is a popular option that's definitely going to be strongest when the house you're selling, it's priced competitively from day one. When the offer that you're making, it's not in a hyper multiple offer situation. And the listing for your house, it's being marketed aggressively, not passively. If it is a competitive bidding situation on the house that you're trying to buy, it is possible that the sellers could hesitate with your offer if it is a contingent offer. Hey, real quick, if this is your first time here, my name's Jose and I am your SoCal Realtor. Here, we help Inland Empire homeowners sell smart, buy better, and move with confidence. So let's get into it. Another is buy before you sell. I know this one sounds like it might be aggressive, and sometimes it is. This is when you go out, look for homes, and purchase your new home first, then come back and list and sell your current house. And for some, this one might feel like the safer option because yes, there certainly are pros to it, such as no housing gap. You're not scrambling for temporary housing or storage or short-term rentals. You just move once, clean and coordinated. Or stronger offer position. You can write an offer, no contingencies attached, and in certain Inland Empire price points, especially with new construction or competitive resale segments, yeah, that can matter. Emotional clarity when buying. You're shopping without a ticking clock, and that can reduce any rushed decisions or buyer's remorse. The risk, of course, is you're carrying two house payments. Even if it's temporary, that can change things because if your house is not priced correctly from the start, or maybe it's in an area that just has lower demand right now, well, that timeline, it can start to stretch. Meaning those two house payments, you could be making them a little bit longer than you expected. Another option is the bridge loan or the HELOC. These are more of a financial structure play because instead of selling your house in order to tap into the equity of it, you're able to tap into that equity now, either through a short-term loan, a bridge loan, or through a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. The pros to these are they're able to access your equity before selling it. If you've owned your house for 5, 8, 10 years or more, then you likely have a pretty substantial amount of equity. Well, this allows you to use it strategically instead of waiting until the sale closes. Also, flexibility in negotiation. You're not dependent on simultaneous closings to line up perfectly, which can help reduce pressure and gives you a little more breathing room. You're able to make stronger non-contingent offers because your down payment, it's already secured. You can write a clean offer, which can matter in competitive resale situations or even when negotiating with builders when buying new construction. But this is not free money. There are fees to both of them, the bridge loan and the HELOC, so you do need to keep that in mind. However, I have seen this work really well when the numbers are mapped out early with the lender and the list price and the timeline for the sale of your house are both realistic. This is definitely where you need to involve your lender early. I'm not a lender, so before you do consider the bridge loan or the HELOC, just make sure that you understand the numbers, understand the costs, and how long you realistically could carry it. And listen, if you're here in Southern California, let me know. I'm happy to refer you to someone solid for that. Another is the rent back agreement. This is when you sell your house and then negotiate with the buyer of the house to be able to stay in your house temporarily after you close escrow on it. In other words, you're renting the house back from the buyers, the people that bought it from you for the next 14 days, 21 days, 60 days, whatever it was that was agreed to, but you're renting it back from them. And then at the end of that, then you go ahead and you move into the new home that you just purchased. The pros to the rent back are you avoid temporary chaos, no storage units, no short-term rentals, and no moving twice. Yeah, this is an option that might be more common than you think. Just keep in mind that you are now renting your house back from the buyers of your house, the new owners. Now, if you need like an extra 4 or 5 days before your new home's going to be ready for you, that's probably going to be something fairly easy to negotiate and in all likelihood of no cost to you. But if you need an extra 30 days or an extra 45 days before your house is going to be ready for you, yeah, a rent back can certainly be very helpful. However, the exact length of time, whether that's 4 days or 40 days, as well as how much you're going to pay in rent to be able to stay back in your house, all of that needs to be negotiated upfront and agreed to by both you and the buyer of your house. In fact, recently we had kind of a unique situation actually, but because that we negotiated a 30-day rent back on their house, it allowed them to close escrow on their house, access their funds, and still had the time needed to be able to finish the escrow on their house, the one that they were purchasing, and then ultimately move without that stress. And then of course there's an extended escrow. This is where you're negotiating for a longer escrow. So instead of the typical standard 30-day escrow, instead you negotiate for a longer escrow, maybe a 45-day escrow, maybe even a 60-day escrow. Now, doesn't mean that you get to stay in the house after it closes escrow like you can with the rent back. What it just simply means is you're delaying the close of escrow on the sale of your house. Let me ask, I am curious, which concern or maybe even fear is stronger for you? A, selling your house and not being able to find something, or B, finding something, buying a house and not being able to get your house sold. Now you have 2 house payments. If you can do me a favor, drop either an A or a B in the comments below. I am curious, which is a stronger concern for you? Now, which of these paths are most local homeowners using? And from what I'm seeing, most of the successful move-up sellers or move-up buyers, whatever, but most are using one of these 3. They're either using a contingency, or they're selling with a rent back, or leveraging equity with a short-term financial bridge. I don't see very many successful move-up home sellers, and I certainly wouldn't recommend it. But fortunately, I'm not seeing too many that are going out and just blindly buying first or listing their house for sale and hoping. No, they're putting together a plan, a structure for that move. Real quick, if you are even thinking about making this kind of a move, I put together a free guide for you on 7 costly mistakes when selling and buying at the same time. It covers the most common errors that routinely cost homeowners the most. You can download it after the video, but you'll find the link down below. I've seen this go wrong many times where homeowners, they'll rush out there to go buy a new home without really understanding the sales timeline for their house. I've also seen though where homeowners, they're waiting for that time to feel safe. And they end up waiting so long that they missed a strong selling window for their house. Again, it's not about being aggressive, not at all. It's about being coordinated. And that coordination, it needs to start long before your house ever hits the market. As I said earlier though, if you do want the full breakdown on mistakes to avoid when selling and buying at the same time, then definitely be sure to grab the guide I have for you down below. Get clarity before you do make a move. Now, once you do understand the structure, the next biggest mistake I do see many homeowners making is just choosing the wrong order entirely, and it ends up backfiring on them. So before you do choose your order, definitely catch this video next. Of course, if you do have any questions about your specific situation, feel free to reach out. My contact information is below.